I love Team Fortress 2. I don't think that's much of a surprise to anyone who watches my videos. I love everything about it. The weapons, the characters, the maps, the short stop. My addiction is so bad Valve had to give me reasons to stop playing. All my games are in some way inspired by this. Look at this map and tell me you can't smell the hoovies giving out free sandwiches. I figured since I have no ideas, nothing to talk about, and can hopefully cash in on Save TF2 too if I'm lucky, I'll just make a video about how it impacted the larger industry as a whole. The original Team Fortress was a Quake mod made by Robin Walker and John Cook. The mod began as a simple capture the flag mode and originally only featured 5 classes. The game was continually updated, eventually bringing the class total up to 9. This mod quickly gained massive popularity and was at one point run on half of all Quake servers. Robin and John started TF Software in order to update the game full time. This gained the attention of other game developers, and before they knew it, Gabe Newell had already kidnapped them. He wanted to show modders that Half-Life was really cool and forced TF Software to remake the original Team Fortress inside of the Gold Source engine. This remake would become Team Fortress Classic and would be released as a free add-on to the original Half-Life. After the success of both Team Fortress games, TF Software decided to make a sequel. Like most game devs, TF Software was built upon and handicapped by its massive ambitions. Team Fortress 2 went through like 90 identity crises before it became the game we know today. It was originally planned to be a realistic military shooter with tanks and mounted guns and stuff. It was also planned to have a 10th class which would be called the Commander. The Commander would basically just be playing an RTS game as he would watch the game from above and try to convince the scout not to steal that health back. It was shown at E3 1999 and was immediately Duke Nukemed afterwards. The game was delayed again and would not be released until 2007. Valve was made up of a bunch of little crybaby stupid heads who didn't want to look like they were bad at their jobs, and as such, much of the development of Team Fortress 2 is unknown to the public. However, due to the time some guy at Valve microwaved his laptop instead of his lunch, their entire database was leaked onto the internet, which shed light on a few aspects. At one point, there was a scrapped version of the game titled Team Fortress Invasion. A barely functioning build was leaked online, and the game was about a war between humans and aliens. Some speculated it could be a part of Half-Life. While there wasn't much of an actual game, there was a bit of cool concept art. After years of radio silence, in July 2006 at the EA Summer Showcase, Valve showed their trailer for the long-awaited Team Fortress 2. This new rendition featured a 1960s cartoon-inspired aesthetic, the Wilhelm scream, and the fact that the game had gone back to its roots, likely done in an attempt to stand out from the competition. The more realistic tone was dropped entirely, and the game was made to feel like a spy movie. This was done partly due to the aforementioned realistic tones of other games, but also because the devs felt the game had lost its goofy charm along the way. Contrary to what the government would like you to believe, rocket jumping is not usually an effective strategy on a battlefield, and the more realistic tones of the earlier versions didn't allow for such tomfoolery. Finally, on October 10th, 2007, Team Fortress 2 was released as part of the Orange Box to universal acclaim on pretty much everything but Nintendo. The game picked up numerous awards, including a few Game of the Year awards. Over the years, Valve continued to update the game, adding unlockable weapons, cosmetics, maps, and entirely new game modes, such as Mans vs. Machine. Until they didn't. Arguably, the reason Team Fortress 2 is still played to this day is because of its character. I don't really know how to verbalize this, so I'm just going to play some of the Domination voice lines and let them speak for themselves.
I will send my condolences to your kangaroo wife.
I am owning you, you fat, bald, fatty, fat.
So, your deadly skill is jogging? Mine is murdering people.
You have Greg Heffley, Major Payne, an expectant Californian, a crippling alcoholic who was given a grenade launcher for some reason, the world's most American Russian, Elon Musk if he was good, a man illegally practicing medicine and is likely to see if he can change your DNA from 50% banana to 100% banana, an overly professional Australian possessing excellent aim with both of his guns, and some French guy. Many other games have tried to pull off what TF2 does, but none have really come close. The main reason for this isn't because their characters are bad, but because they actually tried when they made the characters. TF2 works because the characters are so simple that they're comparable to that of Bugs Bunny and can be portrayed in whatever media they came in. You don't have to go outside the game to get a basic description of the characters. However, if you would like to go deeper, they have you covered. The game itself and the Meet the Team videos are what the characters live off of, and they can all be explained in about 5 seconds. In fact, the characters are a joke and the gameplay is the punchline. It's no different to a Looney Tunes bit. Heavy is actually having a good time playing the game, Sniper lives in Australia. Engineer did his own thing, the French put an end to that. Soldier has a rocket launcher, Pyro has oxygen. The game is identical to a Roadrunner sketch. You know Wile E. Coyote is going to be in the hospital, 7 fractured ribs. You just don't know how it will happen. In the same way, you know you're going to get backstabbed, you just don't know when it will happen or how it will play out. As I stated before, many games have attempted to replicate the success of TF2. Some of these games have succeeded, but for very different reasons. But besides those games, TF2 has also impacted the larger industry as a whole, playing large parts in creating new subgenres and contributing to the downfall of the entire industry. As previously stated, this game has influenced like 90% of game developers. It also brought the funny Bomb Man into existence. Yeah, I don't think I'm really breaking any new ground when I say that this game inspired a good chunk of movement shooters. Not all of them, maybe not even most of them, but I guarantee at least 40% are in some way influenced by the man who won the space race on foot. This game didn't invent rocket jumping, but it might as well have. This led to many other game developers, mostly indie but a few bigger ones, putting their own spin on the pure bliss that is moving fast enough to where your skin is forcibly ripped off by the sheer air pressure. All of these games add to the formula, adding more moves, more routes on top of other things, but the basis is still there. This game also invented EA. Yeah, bad news to the entire player base, everybody already knew this, but we kind of started the whole microtransactions things. We were also pay to win when this first started. We also invented the whole live service thing, because I'm pretty sure TF2 was the first game to actually get major updates. Other games at the time would either release a new version every year or two, or had a subscription model, but this was the first one to be free to play and still get updates. Yeah, this led to a bunch of nice developments in the industry. It is now completely acceptable and even expected to spend 2 whole seconds making a game, sell it for $80 and then promise to fix it later, only to shut it down after 3 days and lay off everyone who made it. It didn't cause that, but it started the trend that eventually led to the existence of Redfall and Lord of the Ring Gohan. So, Vimeo game. I'm still working on my game. It's doing pretty good, I think. I moved it over to Godot, not because of the whole Unity thing, but because I did a game jam with my friend, and he introduced me to the clearly superior religion. It's doing pretty good. I got the story done a while back. The art looked good. So thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.